Hi, everybody. Tabletop Santa here, coming to you from, as we've been this whole time, Decatur, Illinois, because the North Pole's internet is the worst. The Zelfs just aren't getting it done right. They're the worst IT professionals in the world. Now, I've got Robert here from Arcane Wonders to talk about some amazing things they've got. Robert, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Santa. Is it cold in Decatur?
Actually, it has been. It was like 35 degrees today. So I actually have the heat on. So not good.
I thought Santa would be better acclimated to the cold.
I've been down here a little too long. I need to get back up north and get everything rolling for the holiday. So tell us a little bit about Arcane Wonders. What are you all known for? What is your like mission and vision, if you will?
All right. Well, so Arcane Wonders was originally started 2010. Its first release was in 2012. That was the Mage Wars line that everyone knows. So that's what got our start, was Mage Wars. From there, obviously we now have the Dice Tower Essentials line, which brings games such as Onitama, everyone knows and loves. We have Good Critters. Oh, there you go. See, Onitama. But and then Dragon Scales, and then more recently we've had smaller games like Air, Land, and Sea, the Hello Neighbor party game. I think Architectura. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I forget. Like, we've had so many good games last year that the Architectura is the one that keeps slipping through my head, but it's such a beautiful game.
It is.
It's actually the one game I'm a little sad that we haven't been able to do shows for this year, because Architecture is one of those games you need to see. Like, when you see it, like, you just look at the box, it's pretty. Yes. When you see that game laid out, you're like, ooh, what is this? So Architecture keeps slipping in my head. But so we have that. Then obviously we've had our Kickstarter this year for Foundations of Rome that was big. We're currently running Freedom 5. It's in its last minutes while we're doing this. I should be watching my Kickstarter, Santa.
Sure, it's fine.
So primarily we're known for Mage Wars, and then our Dice Tower Essentials line, and then our other games. And we have several more that are coming in the non-Dice Tower Essentials line as well.
Okay. Now, as far as games are concerned, and I know that with this year being what it was, a lot of people's output was compressed, and without having conventions and everything. What are some things that you have coming out that you can talk about, or even if it's just a hint, as like, we have a lineup that you are going to be amazed about, or whatever, for next year? Because I know a lot of folks are like, January, we're hitting it hard.
Right. So now we didn't back off on this year at all. I mean, we had the Hello Neighbor Secret Party game came out just last month. Aquatica releases 5 days from now on November 18th. Right. Smartphone Inc. and the Update 1.1 expansion came out this year. So we didn't sit back. Like, we were like, no, we're going to do this. Air, Land, and Sea went through like 5 or 6 reprints during the year. Really, really excited about how excited everyone's been. But so that's the first thing that actually matters, because we do have a revised edition coming out of Air, Land, and Sea early next year. I believe that actually will have a street date around January 27th. Now, for anyone who already has it, it's not something you need to rebuy. It's just its quality of life. We upped this saturation where we want. But one thing that people kept asking us about, they're like, so I play this. And this was weird for me in the year that we're in. They're like, so I'm playing it like bars and restaurants. And I'm like, how? But okay. And they're like, but it's hard to see because it's got those military colors. So we added little icons to the cards that denote which theater the card belongs to. So it's really just a revised edition. There's nothing major, no rules changes or anything. We do, and this might be the first or second time that I've mentioned this. So Santa, you might be getting a little scoop here.
I like it.
We have a new version of Air, Land, and Sea coming at some point next year. Don't have exact timeline, called Critters at War.
What?
Similar sim game, basically, but a lot of folks, as we were still able to do shows last year, I really love playing the game with my kids. And they're like, but it's a little too dry, themey. So we were like, you know what? Let's do something that if that's the case. So it's going to have like anthropomorphic critters
All
still
right.
going to war with each other. If you remember, like that old game Worms Armageddon,
I do.
the little
Yes.
worms going in. So that sort of feel.
Okay.
It's like Saturday morning cartoons going to war.
That's awesome.
And it's really cool. So it'll be coming out in that version. So that'll be coming next year, and an expansion for Air, Land, and Sea called Spies, Lies, and Supplies.
Oh, wow.
So a
Okay.
lot going on with Air, Land, and Sea.
That
It's
is
picking up.
awesome.
There's also talk of it potentially getting a digital app version too. So lot going on with that game.
Okay.
So that's the first one.
All right.
We also, as we announced last month, we have Four Gardens we're bringing over, which is a just a gorgeous game with this big rotating tower in the middle. We're bringing that into the Dice Tower Essentials line. That's slated for late Q1.
Nice.
And that was actually a cool thing about that game is it's a really nice family weight game. Going to come in at a $40 price point.
Wow. Okay.
It was something that was super important to me, and something that everyone will notice more going forward is games that I consider to be family weight, or in those Dice Tower Essentials line of retail. I'm aiming for a $40 and under price point.
Wow.
Because
That's great.
I want families to be able to buy
Mhm.
it and play it together, and they see a $60 game, that's going to give them pause. But see what we can put into that price point. But the cool thing is that was actually the winner of a contest that Korea Board Games did. So it
Wow.
was actually just a person who submitted, and they won the contest, and it's absolutely gorgeous. We have Furnace that we're bringing over,
Okay.
which everyone talked about a lot at Essen. This is actually a perfect one for us because it's the same designer as Smartphone Inc., Ivan Lashin. So this is basically his follow-up. So really, really excited about this one. For the most part, it's going to be the same version that everyone got, those early copies they had done for Essen, the small ones. We are making a small minor change to it though for the English version. We're replacing 2 of the Russian characters. So the
Okay.
little character cards are being replaced with 2 American figures from the 1800s. And we're going to be replacing it with Annie Malone.
Okay.
Annie Malone was the woman who gave Madam C.J. Walker her start.
Okay.
And then Charles Spalding. So we're bringing in 2 historical Black Americans from the 1800s into the game. So that was like a really cool thing for us.
That's awesome.
So I'm really excited about Furnace is coming. Man, we have a lot of stuff coming. No, my
Dude, that's
brain's doing.
awesome.
We have an expansion for Viral coming
Okay.
called The Hive. That's going to take, that's a great family weight game.
Mhm.
But it's going to take that dudes on a map sort of thing that game was. That game really was to me. That game was a family weight intro to dudes on a map.
Okay.
And it takes it to that next level. Now each one gets their own little hive in the body. They get asymmetrical powers that they're unlocking for their particular virus. So I'm really excited about that. That's also going to coincide with Viral coming out at a new price point, $40.
What? Oh,
Instead of the
okay.
original 50. And no changes. I'm not degrading changing quality.
Mhm.
It's coming out at a $40 price point.
That's awesome.
Part of my whole thing. So yeah, Viral's got an expansion coming, and that'll be that'll be Q1.
Okay.
What else? Man, we do have. Oh, and then late Q1, early Q2 era, we have the much requested Team Juniper expansion for Ruby Combat Ready finally.
Oh.
Fans of Ruby have been nonstop being, when can I play Team Juniper? This game's great, but I want to play Team Juniper. And I'm like, you know what? And I'm a fan of Ruby, so I also was like, let's play Team Juniper. So we have Team Juniper coming.
That's awesome.
That's
great.
And you are getting a first, because I just got this information this morning.
What? Okay.
Q1, it looks like February, March-ish. Cold Waters expansion for Aquatica.
Wow. Okay. Nice.
It's coming. It's started manufacturing right now. It's being manufactured right now.
That's awesome. That is a lot. That's a lot.
I got a lot going on.
You do. That is crazy. And that's great, though. That's so good. That speaks of the success of Arcane Wonders and the growth that you guys are seeing. There, it's so good. I'm so
Yeah,
proud.
we also last month I announced that Dragon Scales was reduced because it was originally 59. It's now 49.99. So I can't quite get that one down to that 40 magic number I want, but I was like, you know what, let's get it down at least because it's such a great game, and I loved the old Dragon Rampage, but the art in that game always was like. So when we redid it as Dragon Scales, I was like, man, see now this art is fantastic. I want everyone to have this game.
And everybody should get that game.
It is my favorite game of backstabbing all my friends.
I mean, let me check.
But while,
no,
but while,
you're still on the nice list.
Wait, but while still working together towards a common goal.
Perfect.
And also, I just run for the exit. I'm like, y'all deal with the drag 'em out.
Perfect.
Oh, and wait, I'm not even done, Santa.
What?
I'm not done. There's something else coming out.
Okay.
And I believe this is late Q. Actually, no, sorry. This is supposed to be out in time for what will be or would have been Origins.
Okay.
So as we don't know what's going on there.
Mm-hmm.
Onitama Light and Shadow. An expansion for Onitama that's going to introduce where each player is going to have a screen and a little mini neoprene mat with a hidden ninja that they're going to be able to manipulate.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah, and you'll be able to play it where each player has a ninja, and you're trying to do that, or you'll be able to play it in a new asymmetrical mode where one player is truly light, one player is dark, and that the dark is just controlling the ninja's complete hidden movement.
That's cool.
So yeah, sorry, I forgot new Onitama stuff.
Ooh, all right. Well, that's a lot. That's gonna keep some people busy, not just you.
I know, and Secret Neighbor is doing well. There is actually, for those who are curious, there is an expansion already in the works for it.
That's awesome.
We also just released online because we released online rules for it because where everything's going, we wanted, but the online rules do require every household has a copy of the game. So if you got one copy per household, you can play online with the rules. So we've got the expansion for the coming that, and then Barnes & Noble's going to have a special edition available of that for Christmas.
Nice.
So yeah,
that's super.
We're
cool.
busy.
You are busy. Busy in all the best ways.
And trying to run a Kickstarter.
So for everybody watching, where can they go to find or get this? Besides, which is always primary for me, is go to your friendly local game store.
Yes.
But where can they go in lieu of that if it's not an option? Then
it's going to be arcanewonders.com. We have our web store link there, which you actually just get direct to it by going shop.arcanewonders.com. I do like to run a lot of specials there from time to time, and sometimes I don't even mention them. I just put them up, and if you happen to catch one, cool. I think last week I just randomly made Ruby half off for 3 days.
Wow. Okay.
And if you notice it, I also because Airland and Sea has been in short stock, and this is actually a really good thing for people because Airland and Sea is currently out of stock. We're waiting on the reprint to arrive for the revised edition, but I do randomly release copies of it there because we have a certain amount we hold back. Right. So if you're still looking for it, keep an eye there. And then obviously Amazon, things like that. But yes, if your local store is open, especially if you're still able to play games in your local store, please buy there. Yes. It's always my rule. If you play there, buy there.
Yes.
I got real passionate about that recently and during a virtual show. And they're like, whoa, a little too hard. I'm like, no, I'm serious. If you're playing games in your local store, buy something. Come on.
Yeah. Absolutely. With everything that's gone on this year, a lot of stores have closed their doors, and with everything that's going to continue to go on until we see the true light at the end of the tunnel, there's still the risk of stores closing. And if they have the opportunity to buy something from a store, even if they can't play there now, you want to buy something if you can so that you can play there later.
Right. And check your local stores. Some local stores have managed to also, do things online or establish some sort of web presence, or even a little tip that I've been given to some people. If you have a local store and you can't go and buy, when you go to Amazon, you normally have additional options of ways to buy it. Just take a peek in there and see if your local store happens to be selling through
Oh,
Amazon
that's a
too.
good idea. That's
Like I
brilliant.
have found a couple local stores where they were also listing on Amazon because they're shut
Mhm.
down right now. And I was able, yes, I paid a little more in shipping, but I was
Sure.
able to support them through just instead of just Prime,
Right.
clicking down and hitting, because it'll say like starting at this price through you can
Right.
click. So it's a good tip to take a look. I mean, your local store might not be on there, but it's worth taking a look at.
Absolutely. 100%. All right. So a couple questions that aren't board game related.
All right,
All right.
shoot
So
'em.
here we go. The first one is, do you have any holiday traditions that you recognize every year that you look forward to when it comes up?
A bottle of Jameson, and I watch Love Actually on repeat.
Oh, okay. That's a great movie. That's where we first see Rick from Walking Dead.
Right, and by repeat, I do mean
Okay.
repeat.
That's
I do
awesome.
mean it loops all day long.
That's good to have in
That's
the
pretty much
background.
my only tradition. Other than I have a tradition that if you're gonna have stockings, they need to be the cheapest stockings ever, and they need to have your names on them with glitter glue.
Perfect. Now, my second question about the holidays is there any treat or dish that is holiday thematic that you only get during this time that you really look forward to as well?
Ooh, so I don't have anything well, I don't have anything that's holiday specific unless like so I'm vegan, but
Mhm.
um I do love eggnog, but I make vegan eggnog, but I'm not gonna lie and tell you I don't make it year round.
Okay.
So
What
not
is
sure if
what constitutes vegan eggnog?
vegan eggnog, you start with a plant-based milk, like an oat milk or a coconut
Mhm.
milk, and the spices, thicken it up a little. You can use like a tapioca starch, or even now you
Okay.
could use just egg. You can make vegan eggnog.
Okay. Interesting.
Um, it's just one of those things. I love eggnog year round. Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, there is something I only make around the holidays.
Okay. What is
It
that?
is I take a big pot
Uh,
and I pour 2 large jugs of cranberry juice in it.
okay.
And I let that simmer with a bunch of cinnamon sticks in it.
Okay.
Let that simmer for like 2 days. It's not real safe and good for the electric, but let it simmer for like 2 days. And you got to keep adding some water now and then
Right.
to keep it from going. Once that's been simmering and it is super intense, add a little sugar. And then ladle it into a cup, add a little Kraken rum to it, squeeze an orange slice into it, you are good to go.
Okay.
Then I only make that during the holidays.
That sounds amazing.
The other nice thing is it's great hot. Also, put it back in the jugs, put it in the fridge. It's great ice too.
What? All right.
It tastes
That
like
sounds good.
Christmas.
Just listening to it being made makes me feel like it would make the whole house smell like Christmas.
That's the other major advantage. Your whole house will smell of cranberries and cinnamon for weeks.
That sounds amazing. Let me ask you this: is there an IKEA near you?
There is an IKEA near me.
So if you ever get the opportunity, go to the IKEA in their like little grocery area, that
Hmm?
checkout area. And only during this time is when it's sold is this drink called Glug, Glug. It is a spiced, it's almost like what you're saying, what you
Hmm.
make, but it's spiced drink. It's non-alcoholic. It's like a berry drink that
Hmm.
they make over in Sweden. And then when you drink it, take almond chips and float them.
Okay, I'll
And
have to
then
try it.
it's
When,
served hot. It's
when
served
you
hot
first
just like this.
Gotcha. Well, so when you first said glug, my brain immediately went to because I'm half Irish, half German, and my German side we have Glühwein,
Mm-hmm.
which is a spiced mulled wine that we have during the holidays, and I have a couple of that. And at first I was like, "That's gonna," but then you said it was non-alcoholic. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'll have to give that a shot. I honestly, anything cinnamon, nutmeggy, I am all over
Right.
year round. I know everyone else like cinnamon and spices, that's for the holidays. And I'm like, that's for summer.
Right? It's for always, people.
But yes, those are that I only make that around Christmas.
That's awesome.
Beyond that, it's for me, it's just all how big of a pile of mashed potatoes can I get on that plate.
I'm a fan of
Then
that.
and then the Irish side kicks in.
That is glorious. Very cool. So everybody watching, make sure that you go check out arcanewonders.com or shop.arcanewonders.com to find out about any of the secret deals that might go on during the holidays. Follow them on all social media platforms. If you just put in Arcane Wonders on every social media platform, you will find them. And I'm guessing that there's you might put sneaks out there as well.
I do. I'm going to give a super secret thing right now that you should definitely, if you are looking for any missing pieces to your Mage Wars collection, you should definitely keep an eye on it during the holidays.
Okay.
I've got some insane things I'm going to do over there. Because
Okay.
I know a lot of people, Mage Wars is starting to, we're working towards the new version and stuff, and I know people are missing, they're like, I'm missing these 2 expansions, and I'm like, I got you.
All right. Perfect.
Merry Christmas.
Cool. Well, Robert, thank you so much for your time. It is much appreciated. You are absolutely on the nice list, and I
That's
look forward
disappointing.
I mean, I can put you on the naughty list too, and you'll be on both. But it's
I was going to say, why not both?
why not both? But until we can see each other again, it is so good to see you here and see that you're doing well, and that Arcane Wonders is doing well. And for everybody out there, make sure you're maintaining your make sure you're maintaining your social distance, wearing your mask, and we hope that you have a wonderful holiday. Until I can see you again and we can all be around each other, I hope I can see you at your friendly local game store. Have a good one.